One of the beautiful things about radical mentoring is that you're leveraging yourself and leveraging your time. You're mentoring multiple guys at the same time. But you need one-on-one time with your guys. And what we require of you as a radical mentor is that you spend some one-on-one time with each guy over the first 90 days of your mentoring season. Now, a lot of people have said, okay, what's that about? What do I do? What's the purpose of that? You know, help me, coach me, bug my ear here. Well, so I'm just going to tell you what I do. After I have the first retreat, after the Story Sunday, and I've heard everybody's story, everybody's faith story. As I hear those stories, I take notes. I take copious notes on each guy and what their story is, where they came from, you know, what the crisis in their life was that brought them to Christ, or, you know, everything about their story. I take very, very copious notes. So when it's time for me to have my one-on-one with them, I read that write-up before I go to have lunch or breakfast with them. So I'm kind of fresh on their story, fresh on their background, fresh on their wife's name if I don't know her, their kids' names. So when I show up, I'm demonstrating by my knowledge of them, their story, and their family that I care about them. And that's of all the things you want to communicate and do in this one-on-one deal, is you want to show them that you care about them, that you love them, that you're not processing them. You're not on some mission to just take them out and interview them and grill them or preach them a sermon. You're there first and foremost to say, hey, you know, I really care about you. I'm investing in you. I'm learning about you. And I want to know more because I want to help you. I like to invite myself to their workplace, wherever that is. I say, look, why don't I pick you up 11 o'clock or so? I'll just come to your office, or I'll come to your wherever it is. And unless they work at home, that typically works out. And I like to go through, have them greet me, walk me through their office. I like to see where they work. I like to see what kind of things they have stuck up on their wall or their cubicle or you know, kind of their place that they spend so much time at. So it tells me something about them, and I'm just taking sort of mental notes about what they're about in their workplace. I watch how they introduce me. It's interesting to me whether they've told people at their workplace about radical mentoring and whether or not they introduce me to their boss. And so I just get a feel for whether this guy's out there about his faith and about things he's doing to grow in his faith, or whether he's quiet and withdrawn and he's keeping it all to himself. Because that gives me the opportunity to kind of coach him as time goes on through this year to help pull him out and put him in the public arena with his faith and with his walk. When we go to lunch, I just get to know him. I ask him questions that I wouldn't feel comfortable asking him in front of the group. I always ask him about his dad. I want to know about his dad because first and foremost, we get our first impressions of God from our dads, or from that person who most defines whether or not we are liked or likable. So I want to kind of know what his dad was like, what his dad did for a living. I just want to get a picture of the environment he grew up in as he was coming up. And then I want to assure him that I'm there for him, that to be mentored requires that the mentee pursue the mentor. So this is the only time I'm going to initiate contact with him unless the Lord leads me to. But if he needs more of me, or if he wants to have other conversations, or if he has an issue or a crisis or whatever, I want him to know I'm available. But I want to set a tone in that says, I'm not your personal coach. I'm not your business consultant. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm an older Christ follower who loves you, loves God, and wants to just be available to you. I've been told by these younger guys over and over again, where else can you get a guy, you know, who's 55, 60 years old, who loves you, who's available to you, who you trust and respect, and who will answer any question that you ask. He'll be honest with you and be transparent and tell you, hey, this may not be the answer for everybody else, but this is what I've learned. This is where I screwed up. This is what I wouldn't do if I was doing it over. So the one-on-one's key. You'll enjoy it.